And there's some boxes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, and the 12th is over by the door. The Crazy Picker Life with Wheeler, Dealer, and Banana Peeler. Good morning, crazy fellow pickers and would-be adventurers. This is Dealer with the Crazy Picker Life. Well, this segment of our vacation is coming to a close. It is Monday morning, and I guess there's still a few people who go to work on Monday mornings. I don't know, I'm not one of them, but I do work, so I've got to be careful on my videography here because my beautiful wife is still in bed over there reading a book. She prefers to be beautiful but still off camera. Okay. So, this is what my room now looks like, and I'm trying to get to my tape first of all so I can tape boxes. That's why stuff's all over the place. Once you know, it's in the last tote around the corner on the bottom. So the goal here is to take those boxes and all the stuff that fits in boxes, which some won't, and condense it and put it in these 15 by 15 by 20s. Got to get breakfast, get everything else packed up, get everybody in the van, get to the post office, and get out of town by noon. So it's 8 a.m. give or take, and I got to get to work. Trying to work on my editing. My pre-editing. Wow. I think we're almost out of here.
I need dress.
Woo! Okay, so I think I have 12 packages going out, and we got some totes and things we're throwing out. Like this is a throw-out box and tote pile. And some things just won't be shippable, so we pack them full. Like these metal coolers are a little too big for my boxes. Yes, buddy. I'll get your thing back on in a minute. I just muted it so I could talk. Everybody's got an agenda. Okay, and then we got all our totes emptied out. Packing supplies that are left are diminished. And there's some boxes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, and the 12th is over by the door. And so we'll be getting those to USPS and sending those home. And then we're going to find out who's hiding in the wardrobe. Oh! Super fun. Okay, so let's see. We started at, I don't remember what time I told you. 8, and it's 11.
9.
Had breakfast in there.
9.
And I think time to load up. We'll be out of here in time.
Can you shut this?
Can I shut it? You might get lost in there.
No, I'm not.
Okay, bye-bye. Sam, we're gonna need to have you pack up your clothes. Come on over here. Pack up your clothes. What? What's that? That's not your clothes. Pack it up in your bag. That's your socks.
Like 3.8 stars.
I had my doubts, but it's all in the van. I'm so glad we're gonna try to get rid of some of it though, because it is full. I had to bend some boxes a little bit and pull a few dealer tricks. Everybody in?
Yep.
Okay, on to the post office. Get rid of a bunch. Well, a quick stop in Wausau, Wisconsin, a couple hours outside of Sheboygan. I guess we ate down there where the umbrellas are, and just did a quick walk around of the downtown. Kids are tired, road weary, not too exciting. Got a drunk table over here, people partying. Who knows what's going on. We thought about doing some picking, but by the time we got out of the post office and the library and headed out of town, it was already 2 o'clock. And so we want to get everybody to Sheboygan. My wife wants to visit people, and we need to find our hotel and get checked in and get some relaxing and try to figure out what the heck we're going to do tomorrow for picking. It's worth 50 bucks a friend. Okay, we made it to Sheboygan and we're watching American Pickers. Frank is tough, man. He's getting good deals. Okay, so there's the boys are relaxing. It's like 20 degrees in this room. Got all our stuff brought in. More stuff down there. And I realized that I haven't been vlogging too much today, so I'll have to sit over here and talk a little bit about our strategy for the next day or two, and thought about a few interesting things to talk about. I've got my Leinenkugels. It's pretty warm though. Warmish. We got American Pickers in the background and some kind of weird water noise in the bathroom. We're staying at a hotel that I stayed at I probably have stayed at here 20 years ago, but 5 years ago, and then they remodeled it. It's pretty nice now. So we're pretty happy about the choice. Cheap. Oh, it's a little raw. So 6 hours of driving today is too much. I got pretty relaxed yesterday and pretty worn out the few days before that, and that's probably the hardest stretch in this trip, and it's the second time we've taken this route. And I remember halfway through it, I remember, man, I was pretty beat. We didn't do any picking, just pretty much driving. We got out of Minneapolis pretty late after all that packing up and taking stuff to the post office. So we have picked Wisconsin quite a few times over the last 5 years. And it's funny, we're remembering today there's 2 Walmarts in Sheboygan. Sheboygan is right on Lake Michigan. It's fairly long north to south. And there's a Walmart on the north side and there's a Walmart on the south side. When we first bought the picker van, Wheeler and I came out here with the family, and most of the family, I think everybody actually, went to visit family, and then Wheeler and I went off picking for a number of days, 4 or 5 days, and we actually slept in the picker van in the Walmart parking lot, both at the north side and the south side. And I think we did 3 nights in the van, and then we picked so much stuff that it got too full of stuff, and then we stayed in a hotel for a couple nights. And I think the next year, or the next time we came, I think we did the same thing. And then I don't think we came back for a year or two picking. And then now, of course, we stay in hotels almost every time. There's one trip that we go on that we might end up in the van, or we might end up camping just because there's no place to go. Oh, good old Wisconsin beer. We almost toured the Leinenkugel brewery today. My wife brought it up sort of like a joke, and I kind of think she actually wanted to do it, and I just wasn't in the mood. Too much driving ahead. So let's see what else. So we went, you know, when we started getting out and picking, we traipsed around Wisconsin and went to a lot of different venues, thrift stores, rummage sales, some antique places, not as much camera stores, not as much pawn stores, not as much higher end antique stores, we were buying a lot less and a lot less expensive items. And our camera picking was a lot different too, because we had to get a lot for reasonable, so we would buy as much as we could, but it had to be reasonable stuff. You know, we weren't buying $100 items or $300 items or any of that. That was risky at that time. Things have changed quite a bit, and more experience stopping by places in this area. And by area I mean like about 150 mile radius. You know, we've been all the way down to Milwaukee and Waukesha and Brookfield. We've been all the way up to Green Bay and all the way up the coast. I can't think of all the towns up there. And we even went out to a auction and some other weird places west of Green Bay. And by weird, I just mean off the beaten path. It is nice country up there. So tomorrow is Tuesday. We're going to be here Tuesday and Wednesday, and we're going to cut out of here pretty early on Thursday, I think. We have 2 routes that we're going to go, and I think tomorrow we'll have to see how the weather is and a few other factors. Tomorrow I think we're going to stay fairly local and not put the miles on, just because we put a bunch on today. I don't know what we put on today, 6 hours, probably 300 some today or something like that. Too much, really. I mean, this whole trip is about driving. There's a lot of driving. I wasn't up to it today. When you have 3 days of family and kids and picking, and you start out driving overnight, it was a stressful weekend. Yesterday was nice and sort of relaxing. I did get good sleep last night, and I plan to get some good sleep tonight. So local tomorrow, and then we'll probably take a bigger loop up to Appleton and Green Bay on Wednesday, and we'll see how that goes. Now, last time we were here in May, we took a trip up the coastline, and we had 4 or 5 places we wanted to go during the week. The problem is, the last time we were up there, it was on Saturday and every place was open. During the week in May, there ain't anybody around up there. It's too early. It was before Memorial Day, and so things have still like sort of thawing up there, you know, during the week. We ran into a couple characters up there. Our 2 or 3 main stops did not pan out, and so that trip was a waste. But we learned from it, and so for tomorrow we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 regular stops, and most of these places that we're going to go, we built sort of a relationship with the people there, and so some of them save stuff for us, and all of those places are willing to wheel and deal with us quite a bit. We're also going to go around Sheboygan. There's a few places here that we like to stop at and take a peek at. There's also a few places we probably won't go, because we know that we've bought everything there, because you go 3 or 4 times, there's nothing new, there's nothing happening. And so really, if I was to rate our picking intensity the next 2 days out of 10 on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being lame and slow and 10 being like, I don't know what to compare it to, 12-hour day or something like that. We haven't really done a super intense picking day for a while. We've kind of broken it up. These trips that are coming up in September, those will be intense picking days. Those will be dawn till dusk. So we'll have those on the vlog. Tomorrow, scale of 1 to 10, it'll probably be a 5. I hope to end early, and I hope to go out on a local date with Lon, just Lon and I. I think that'll be fun. Wednesday will probably be a 6 out of 10. It'll have some traveling. We've got a couple good camera stops, and we're gonna hit all the pawn stores and look for some higher end stuff, I think. So if you go to an area outside your area, it's going to take a couple of trips to kind of feel that area out. And when you're going on those trips, I would start trying to build relationships with people at these stops. Tell them what you're looking for, ask them some questions, find out who runs the store, shop, or otherwise. If it's a thrift store, talk with the employees a little bit. Again, tell them what you're looking for. They may drop you a name or a place that has what you're looking for. The locals know a lot more. And then if you're just looking for general stuff, you just have to figure out where to go and where not to go, and that may take a couple of times again to find out the places that replenish their items. You might stumble on a auction house, or maybe a flea market or a swap meet. A lot of times you have to do some research to find out when some of those antique weekends happen, or swap meet happens just on the weekend, or quarterly, or citywide rummage sales. Like I said, we've been coming to this Wisconsin area for 5 years, and so we've beat the bushes, and now it's like we just go get the low-hanging fruit. And we're starting to develop more and more areas like that. Like Denver's pretty good for us like that. We've got that kind of figured out. Colorado Springs, Omaha, Nebraska. I would like to spend more time in Wichita. We've been down to Oklahoma City. We haven't been over to Kansas City or St. Louis very much, but I know I've got contacts in both those places and might meet up. I've got offers to go picking other places. Really, it's, there's so much stuff. You just need to find it, and then you need to work on your relationship building, negotiating, understanding who you're dealing with, what are the hot buttons, what's the dealio, all that stuff, So, and then you got to kind of figure out what you're best at buying, best at listing, best at working through. So it's a process. It's a step-by-step process. For us, I don't know. No 2 days are the same in the field, but not a lot surprises us, and I find more and more it's almost automatic. Depending on where we go into kind of a mode. If we go to a thrift store, we have a way about it. If we go to an antique store, we've got a way to deal with that. If we go to a flea market or a swap meet, we've got a way that we get through that. Same with pawn stores, same with camera stores, same with one owner antique stores, same with all that stuff. Retail arbitrage. You start to just to develop a way that you go about that whole thing. So that's the plan. Now I've got Wheeler and Banana Peeler with me. Those guys are the mainstays, and then the other 5, my wife and 4 kids, are doing the local family friends thing. Lon grew up in this area. She still has some friends with kids, and some family here. So that's the deal. Did I miss anything else? If we wouldn't have found volume this last weekend, and by volume I mean we bought a lot of camera stuff, a lot of pieces, and then I bought a lot of beer stuff, a lot of pieces. If we wouldn't have found that, we probably would switch gears and really try to buy a bunch of stuff. Now what we have to do, and I have to really watch it, is we have to buy quality instead of quantity 90%. There's a couple stops we go that could have bulk, and I hesitate to buy bulk, and I gotta be careful, because if I don't buy it, sometimes the people who are saving stuff for me, they're gonna lose faith that we can, you know, buy the stuff, and they'll stop collecting it. So it's a little dance and a little bit of a thin line. I don't want to be too overburdened, but I've got to play that whole game out. The last time here, I think we bought the Fleer. We came in July. We came in May, July, and now in August. We bought that Fleer camera for $1,000+ and had a nice flip on that quickly. I'd like to find something like that again. That would be a nice find. So we'll see. We keep learning. We're not afraid to pull the trigger. Wheeler is such a whiz banger on camera stuff that it's great. I find myself taking little, medium, and large risks, and for the most part I trust my instinct, and I'm not foolproof, but I don't know, I seem to have a magnet towards buying mostly the right stuff. My hunches are pretty good, which in a way is a little scary, because it's like, where did that come from? But it's just doing this. And so you start to zero in on what you should buy and what you shouldn't buy. And I've made plenty of mistakes. None of them have been less costly than the learning. I mean, that's one way to look at it, because buying the wrong stuff, boy, I tell you what, you start looking certain things up, you start learning markets, and you don't buy it again. So, you know, what are you gonna do? So I encourage you to make a few mistakes. Just don't make them bigger than your wallet can handle. You gotta have a threshold, or if you do have a threshold on making mistakes, you know, make smaller ones. We might do something fun here the next couple of days too, but we had a lot of fun this weekend. And really, here's the deal. Thursday is going to be a Janesville, Wisconsin day. I've got 3 or 4 stops I want to go on down there. Going to visit some family and take care of some family things. That's going to be a long day, but you know, that's just going to be a day. And then Friday's a bit of a travel day. Friday night we'll be in Omaha. Friday night, Saturday, Sunday morning. That's going to be relaxed time, family time. I don't think I'm going to pick at all. The goal is not to pick at all in Omaha. I can't think of anything there that I need to go to. We have a contact there that we need to hit up sometime, but we're not going to need it this trip. We're getting everything we need. And so going in, I planned to buy big in Minnesota, camera stuff. We had a stop lined up. That worked. I had hoped to find some good stuff rummage sailing. That didn't work. And then I was going to go to that flea market swap meet. That was so-so. And then we got that lead, and that was a plus. All the beer stuff. everything from there on. We had some planned stops, but it wasn't mandatory. If we hadn't got the good stuff in Minnesota, I would have went on hyper pick mode the next few days here, but it's all going more or less to plan. Gonna get some good sleep. Gonna relax with the boys now. Edit a little bit. That shouldn't take too long because I don't have too much. It's just a few short clips. Oh man. Appreciate everybody out there, and appreciate you watching and your comments and your questions. We'll do a question and answer sometime here in the next week and a half once we get settled. Oop, battery's going out. Appreciate the thumbs up. Really enjoy doing this, and so pick well and list often. Dealer out.
Hey, Wheeler.
Dealer Production.